G'day legends, in this video we're going to be talking about Sean O'Malley's recent comments about him taking another year off MMA. Let's get right into it. All right, first of all, it does look like Team Chad Striking has taken a loss to Team Crotch Sniffing, and quite frankly, good on Team Crotch Sniffing. You know, they deserve it. It's about time they got a win after yet another full 25 minutes of fight time. They want to continuously do things the hard way over there at Team Crotch Sniff, and good on them for trying. But having to reset from that over on our side of the fun side of MMA, where you stand up and actually fight somebody, Sean O'Malley did his podcast and talked about having another year off. And I mean another year off because he took a year off in the past when he was suspended for drug usage, and then took another year off after the Petr Yan fight but anyway, he's done his podcast, and not only did his podcast have one of the weirdest breakdowns of his +1 mate to the orgies. I don't know who this guy is, but he was not very happy that he wasn't invited to the group sex party afterwards.
Not one fucking thought was made about me, and I fucking made the press conference fucking massive. I fucking went to Marab and Aljo to their face and backed up my shit talk, and I said to their face.
That was a little weird, I'm not going to lie. But Sean then just got on with business and went on to talk about how he is going to be having the next year off. Let's check that out now.
Well, I mean, yeah, I probably won't fight. Till for 9 months, 10 months, maybe a year. Like, it's going to be a while. People are going to have to watch the UFC without the sugar show for a little bit, but then maybe.
So initially, there's a bit of backlash for this straight away. You know, this news is only a day old. There's a bit of backlash straight away, and fair enough, right? The UFC sort of rewards active fighters. Activity is really, really good for your performance in the cage. We do notice the more active a fighter is, the more they tend to climb up the rankings. It's really also good for the general MMA fan base as well. We have seen fighters take off time like John Jones, Israel Adesanya, Colby Covington, and their core fan base does stick with them. But for the general MMA community, it is a fast-moving sport. There's a new event every single weekend. And when you're not out there every 3 months, you really do lose a little bit of that zest and that pop with the general MMA audience that does help you along when it comes to picking out the next title fight. But then he actually went on to talk about it a little bit more on someone called Aiden Ross's stream or podcast or whatever he does. He went on a little bit more into this bloke's podcast and started to talk about how he actually needs the time off, not because he's reveling from such a horrible loss, but because he does need surgery as well. And by the time he gets the surgery done and recovers for it, it's going to be about 6 months anyway. Let's check this out.
Don't take that long of a break, dude. The game needs you, bro. Like, come on, bro. I need you.
I have to get surgery. I have surgery on October 3rd.
Really?
I tore my labrum
What
like
the?
10 weeks ago.
What the fuck is a lab? What is that?
It's a little, you have a labrum in both your shoulders and your hips.
Yeah.
I tore the left labrum in my hip, so I got surgery. That's the only reason I'm gonna be out for so long. The surgery should only take like 2 months to come back from. Then it'll take, a couple months recovery. So a year's long. A year's a long time. Could be 6 to 8 months. But I'm just kind of going with the flow. You never know.
Fuck. All right.
So if that is true, then 6 months off to get labrum, he needs his labia tightened. I don't know what it is. But 6 months off to get things tightened up is completely reasonable. Maybe not a full year, but certainly 6 months off. If I was Sean, though, and I'm not, but if I was Sean, though, and I was going to take a year off, let's be honest here. Sean's entire career is sort of him getting babied to the top by the UFC, as well mixed with a little bit of luck that Aljamain Sterling was too dumb to try and take down a striker. That entire title fight, maybe that one desperation takedown at the end of the first round. But generally, the wrestler, Aljamain Sterling, decided to stand up and strike with Sean O'Malley. So that was a little bit of luck for Sean O'Malley. But right now, Merab is the king of the division, and Usman Nurmagomedov is very, very close behind. And these two are going to be fighting for number one position over the next 12 months. And by number one position, I mean who is going to be the champ, who is going to get in their defense for the next 12 months. However, Davison Figueiredo and Petr Yan are right there. Now, if you are Sean, you could see an avenue of success for yourself by letting these wrestlers just play out for a year and see if they can at least knock one or the other off and see if Figgy or Jan can raise themselves to #1 contender and then get in there and try and snatch that spot for them. That is a much easier avenue of success for Sean O'Malley than to keep butting his head against the wall of team wrestling. So essentially what Sean needs to do is heal up and then get through this Umar Marab era. Sit out for the year. If this is what he wants to do, I wouldn't suggest that he should do that, but if that's what he wants to do, that's what he could do. However, while you are sitting out Sean, it is time to go full Mighty Mouse. Go full Ryan Hall. And what I mean is, you enter as many jiu-jitsu tournaments, invitationals, grappling tournaments. Marab went and did freestyle sambo over his break. Go and do as many as possible. Now, all you're working on, Sean O'Malley, while you're doing all these grappling and wrestling, all of that, is just not losing. You're not focusing on winning. You're focusing on not losing. You need to lower that competitive bar all the way down. Quite frankly, you're too lanky and you're too skinny to be a wrestler, okay? And honestly, who wants to be a wrestler? Who wants the smell of another man's ballsack in their face all day, right? Just strike at range, out in the fresh air, jab, jab, head kick, round 1, get paid. It's smart. It's smart. Continue to be smart. You know, Michael Chandler's a wrestler. Don't be like Michael Chandler. Be smart. But you're entering these tournaments to practice your scrambles and your get-ups. You are lanky enough to be able to post, to be able to scramble, to be able to get feet on hips, and to create submission positions that are not there to necessarily get the position, but to create the scrambles, all right? And it's different than in training, where you're bringing in training partners and you're sort of slowly helping each other along, because when it's that competitive environment, you're Sean O'Malley, and these people want to have a win on their record over you, Sean O'Malley, and let them have it. Who cares if your grappling record is 25-0? Seriously, who cares? Because you're taking all of that experience of people wanting to beat you up and wrestle you and submit you, and all you're doing is focusing on getting up and bringing that back to the MMA game and rounding out your entire MMA game. Because right now, to me, Sean O'Malley is still one of the best strikers in the UFC. If he can just get that confidence up there, and the strikers in the UFC right now need to learn this. They've got to get their confidence back up when they're facing these horrible crotch-sniffing, sport-killing team wrestlers. Screw them, right? You've got to get your confidence back up. When Dustin Poirier had his confidence going, he could land hands on Islam Makhachev. When they're not so worried about the takedown coming at them because the clock is going to get chewed up, when they're not so worried about that, they can get their hands going and they can start to win rounds on the damage-based scoring system that they have. But like we were saying in the Dustin Poirier-Islam Makhachev fight, the reason Dustin couldn't get his combos going like he usually does is because he himself said that he was too nervous about the takedown coming back at him. So if it's going to be a year off, it's going to be a year off just practicing scrambles and get-ups, scrambles and get-ups, scrambles and get-ups in competitive competition. Last night, we did. That's my thoughts on Sean O'Malley if he's going to take the year off, and I don't think he should. Yesterday afternoon, we started tackling the official pound-for-pound list in the UFC. I know the media are going to tell you the pound-for-pound list. It is garbage. Last night, we started tackling the official pound-for-pound list. We debated it live on the channel for an hour, and we couldn't quite lock it down, so we're going to be picking that up this week, really trying to lock down where everyone sits on the pound-for-pound list in the live stream. So if you want to join me for those, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. If you're already on board with the channel, go ahead and give this video a like and let me know down there in the comments, do you think Sean O'Malley should take a year off? And if he does take a year off, what should he do during that year off? Put that down there in the comments. Until then, you all have yourselves a great day, and I'll see you all in the next video.